Microphone check 1 2. What is this? The MDX boys is back to business. Woo! Bro, let's go.
What is up?
Dog, I have been waiting. I've been waiting 2 years, 2 long, very illustrious years, to say that intro with my boy, and we are back. And we are better than ever, baby.
I think the last show we did was on Instagram Live, like early pandemic. You remember that?
Dude, during the pandy, we jumped on because we're the whole man, this whole thing's crazy. We think the world was gonna end. We're like, maybe we should just jump on here for one last time to be able to give the people a little something and everything like that. Right. And that was it.
Well, because we didn't know Instagram only gave us an hour, and they cut us off, and we were like, I guess that's it.
Yeah, man. Because everybody in mama were doing the whole IG thing, going live and talking, and all that stuff and everything like that. So we were like, let's jump on it as well too, give a little update, because even before that we were kind of like, we kind of took some time off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you were doing your own thing, and then we were just chilling, and then it was like, whoop.
Yeah. Then we're on the brink of disaster with the world and everything like that. But that's in the past. We here today. It's 2022. It's a whole new world right now. It's a whole new life, and we are reviving the show. Really quick, let me just do all the little bells and whistles. Welcome everyone to the revival of the MDX podcast. I am Maurice Prophet,
and I'm Danny Dang.
And we got somebody brand new that's gonna be sitting in the chairs in the booth and sharing the mic with us. I'm gonna let you do the introduction.
I'm Clairissa Dang, and I'm super excited to be here.
Clairissa Dang. Now Clairissa Dang. Who? Now, Danny, can you tell us who this bright young woman is?
Well,
you're right.
For those who don't know, your boy got married.
Oh! Y'all, did you hear that? Did you hear that, y'all? Wait. I don't think they heard you, man. You gotta say that one more time.
I got married.
This man got married. This man got married, y'all. How wild is that, man? For real.
I mean, people who are on social media obviously know and they've seen it, But I think you were one of the first that I told when Clairissa and I first started talking and dating and stuff, and I'll make it quick. And 2020, the pandemic happened and all that stuff was super crazy. Very early pandemic, I joined a boxing gym, and then 2 weeks after that, it shut down, and it was that first lockdown. So I was doing these at-home workouts and doing this on-demand boxing stuff, and then it was June when things were kind of opening back up again, and I get a text message because I signed up for an outdoor class, and I get a text message that was like, "Hey, this is Clairissa from Title Boxing. Your class has moved from one place to another place." And I was like, "Okay, cool, no problem." And so I go up there, and I actually meet Clairissa for the first time, and I meet her daughter Emma, and I meet their cat Brett, and so I meet them all for the first time ever. Didn't think anything of it. And then, the rest is history at that point. Fast forward to now, and we're married, and we're
living. You live with Brett?
Now I live with this cat, and I have a stepdaughter, and it's been fun. It's been a whirlwind, and things happened, and here we are. We're living life, and we're doing all the things.
Man, just life just went by so fast for you, bro. That's just wild, man, for real. Because it's crazy, because I vividly still remember when this whole thing started with you two, in terms of when y'all met and whatnot and everything. I still, Danny would hit me up. Clairissa, what we would do, we would do the show. We did the show for Intellectual Radio and all that good stuff and everything. And so typically after the show, when I would leave the station, Danny and I would talk on the phone, for on my ride home, basically. You know what I mean? I'm driving back, through the west side of Chicago, at damn near midnight. So I gotta have somebody just in case I get kidnapped, you know what I'm saying, or I get shot up. Just so this way what's going on. Somebody knows. I'm just playing. I love my city. I remember when Dave was like, dude, there's this chick at boxing. She's bad, bro. She's bad. So of course, like, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Because like, of course, like when you at the gym and you know what I mean, like you know how it is. Like you see somebody that's kind of catching your eye, or whatever. Like, you're like okay, like little cutie thing over there. I thought that was like he was kind of on that energy. Like, okay, like cute little thing at the gym. Bet, cool. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, bro. You know what I mean? But then, when we would talk, he would talk about Clairissa more and more and more and more. He's like, remember that girl at the gym? Remember that girl I told you about that boxing? Remember that girl I told you about Clairissa? Yeah, bro, you been telling me about her, for the last 17 text messages. Yeah, I remember her. Jeez. And he's like, bro, like, you know what I mean? And so things developed, and I was like, oh, this is like for real, for real. This ain't just like some little gym crush that I thought for the first 16 and a half text messages it was. I was like, oh, this ain't no little gym crush. This really is like, oh, she feeling you too?
I'm saying. And like, you see in the gyms, there's a lot of people that like checking each other out and stuff. I'm telling you, it can happen. It can happen.
Man, and it did happen, man. Now you're getting some love. You're getting some love right now. Martha said, "What's up, everybody?" Teasel says, who congratulations again to y'all too. Miss Melissa Ramirez says, "Congratulations, Danny." I don't know why she spelled it with the Y, like she don't know you and shit.
Right.
And of course, it wouldn't be typical Teresa fashion without her, coming on here talking a little shit, talking about the intro. I don't care. Hey, that intro was fire, if you ask me.
That was amazing.
And you know what? And here's the thing, too. About that intro, right? And this is why I got to give Clairissa a lot of credit, when it comes to making that intro happen, right? I know she's saying, like, what are you talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. So typically, when I make the promos for MDX, like when we would have our shows or whatever like that, I usually go through Danny's pictures, his photos, to find like okay, a good photo or whatever like that, so this way like we can use it for the promo and everything, right? So and so like when we were bringing this whole thing back, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna make the promo for this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a really dope intro for this, as well too, like like an actual physical intro. So I'm going into his pictures with the mindset I had before, to find like a cool picture of Danny or whatever like that, right? Now here's the thing, Clairissa, I am not used to seeing Danny without a hat on. I'm not used to that. Hand to God, the first time I saw this man without a hat on was when I came out there to visit him in Seattle, and this was like probably like 6 years into our friendship, because I always saw him with a hat on. And it wasn't until when I was out there, I saw him with no hat on. I was like, oh, you actually have you have a head under that. Like I thought you just had this hat. I thought you had a hat like surgically, just put to your head or whatever every day. So I'm going through the pictures and I'm looking for, let me find a cool picture of Danny, like, wearing the Supreme hat, or wearing a Kraken hat, or wearing like, a Washington Commanders hat, saying like, whatever, like, like that he rocks with. I see all these photos, Clairissa, of Danny with no hat on. I mean, hair is combed, hair is slicked back. Hair. You know what I mean? Hair looking healthy and everything. Like, it's all shiny and all that good stuff. He got the good product in there and everything. I'm like, oh! So, this is the version of Danny Dang when he got wifey on the side. I've never seen this before. It's mad. Y'all, for real, if you are friends with Danny Dang on Facebook, and if you have not gone to his pictures yet, I implore you, go to his profile right now, take a break, grab some water, you know what I mean? Grab your phone or whatever, or grab the laptop, whatever. Go to his profile right now. Just go into Danny Dang, click where it says, click where it says photos of Danny. You see this handsome young devil, hair looking all nice, and I'm like, what?
I'm saying, he's fine. You take that hat off, I'm like, yes, sir, I'll go out with you.
I'm like, this is all Clarissa's doing right here. Clarissa said, look, you can take me to Cheesecake Factory, you can take me to Benihana, you can take me to Capitol Grill, you can do all that. That's cool, but baby, you got to take that goddamn hat off.
Yeah, take that hat off. I want to see that hair. I love that hair. And he told me he was going to cut it for the wedding. No, you're not. You're not cutting that hair.
She also asked if I was going to wear a hat at the wedding. Like that was.
Wait,
was a conversation.
you pitched the idea to wear a hat at the wedding?
No, I didn't wear a hat at the wedding.
No.
No. But did you pitch? Did you like kind of like at first? Were you kind of like, hey, would it be cool if I wore kind of like a cool hat? You know that? Because I know you had the you had like what you
he
had. Like,
likes his hair. He's just lazy.
I am
He'll
lazy.
do it. He'll
I'm
do
lazy.
it if I'm, puts a smile on my face. He'll do it.
see, look, they're checking right now. They checking right now. They
He's
checking right
lying.
now.
He's
See, I told
lying.
you. No, because here's the thing. Because I when Dane was telling me about the wedding plans, he was like, oh yeah, we gonna be dipped. We gonna do this, that, and the third, or whatever like that. And he said he had a pair of Louboutins or Balenciaga.
No, Louboutins.
Louboutins. So of course, I'm like, of course you would. You would have the high end. You would be rocking the high end shit. So
Bro, my wedding shoes cost more than her wedding dress. Casey Omega says what's good.
You would too.
My wedding shoes were Ultra Boosts.
She wore Ultra Boosts for the wedding.
You wore Ultra Boots.
Just Adidas Ultra Boosts.
Wait, where are Ultra Boots?
Ultra Boost. So Ultra Boost is like the first. It's the first shoe that Adidas came out with the Ultra Boost that was on it. Nobody liked them, and then your boy Kanye wore a pair to do halftime at the Bulls show, and everybody was like, "I need those," and then they blew up.
But they're the most comfortable shoe ever, and you don't have to tie them, so that's why I wear them.
Oh. That's why I keep hearing about the Yeezys, is that like they're just like they're ugly on the outside, but they're mad stupid comfortable.
So comfy.
So they have Ultra Boost technology on them, which is actually made by NASA.
Damn.
And so I remember when I was working at Champs and Ultra Boost came out, the demo of it was the Ultra Boost pad, and then you would take a golf ball and you could drop it into it, and it would show that it was like shock absorbent and like nothing got to it. They're comfortable.
Oh, so is it okay? All right. You remember? Well, first, Clairissa, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
How old am I? I'm a year older than him by 1 year and 5 days. So I'm 38.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're in the same era.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember that commercial back in the day where it was like this new innovative bed that was coming out, right? A new, very soft, innovative bed. And on one side of the bed, they had a damn glass of wine. And the other side of the bed, they had some lady jumping up and down on the bed to show how, like, one side of the bed does not affect the other side of the bed. That's how, like, that's like the dynamics of how it works out.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of when you're talking about dropping. You said a bowling ball on top of the shoe?
Ball.
A golf ball.
It was like a weighted ball.
And it does nothing to it.
Yeah.
And so you two are meant for each other because it really is like a shoe off. I got the groom got the Louboutins, and the bride got on the boost.
Ultra Boost.
The Ultra Boost.
But here's the thing, though. The thing is yes, we're made for each other because we're like exactly the same, but we are completely opposite. Like, because like your boy here is Supreme this, Supreme that. Like, right. I have a Fendi belt, Fendi wallet, Louboutins, all the things. Like, you know me, you know I'm bougie.
Right.
Enter me into her life, and she's like, what are these things? I don't know. Like, she's like, I don't know what they are. She's like, what is Supreme? What is this? What is that? Like, what? Like, okay, I'm at the gym, right? When we first start talking, I'm at the gym. And so I'm at the gym. What do you wear to the gym before you? Because I wear boxing boots to box in, right? I'm not gonna wear them outside, so I'm gonna come in with some flip flops on or something like that, right?
Sure.
What do I rock? I have Gucci flip flops. I walk in.
High future.
I walk in. This one goes, hey, I really like your flip flops. They're like Christmas edition, and I'm like.
I thought he really liked Christmas. I was like, I like Christmas too. I was like, this is great. They're red and green.
I was like, these are Gucci flip flops. And she's like, huh?
I didn't know.
Then he was like, excuse me? Excuse you? Don't downgrade my flip flops.
But now I'm out in the world and I see them, I'm like, oh, I know those are Gucci. I know those are Gucci slides. But now, like,
So Clarissa, was that the first time that you kind of like noticed him when you saw the flip flops?
no. So the first time I noticed him was the first time I met him. He was taking a fitness class, and I thought he was gonna die, and he looked really pissed off. He was just like, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go work out next to him and just make sure he's happy and like enjoying his workout.
No. You worked out next to him because you're like, okay, yeah, at least I'm not. I won't feel bad if my workout doesn't go well because he over there and they're
I
about
thought he was gonna
to.
die. I was like, I better have 911 ready to come save this man. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, I don't know why he's here. I don't think he can do this.
In my defense,
why are you here?
In my defense, that class that I took was taught by like a 19-year-old dude that was shredded.
Keep up.
And then the other two people in that class were also not in shape.
No, but he was like, I thought he was. So that's when I first noticed him, and he was really like, just like Danny Dane, just.
I can see that. He'd be mad as hell. Hey, knowing you, were you ready to say, you know what, forget it after this? Were you ready to?
No, because I really enjoyed the boxing, but I was like, I'm never going to do this outdoor class again because the outdoor class wasn't boxing. It was just like it was like a
calisthenics.
Yeah, like calisthenics.
It's hard to do boxing outdoors without a boxing bag.
Oh yeah,
we
he was
like
in the panty.
Sprints and running and burpees and all this other
he
shit.
He was doing stuff Canelo trains with.
And I'm like, nah, I'm good on this. But it was funny because we met and it was at our high school. And so, so the crazy thing is Clairissa and I went to high school together, and she's a year older than I am, but we didn't know each other in high school.
We met in 2020 at our high school.
We met in 2020 at our high school. So I show up there, and I was like, oh, hey, I'm Danny. She's like, oh, hey, I'm Clairissa, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then I was like, cool, I went to Redmond High. And she's like, oh, so did I. And I was like, no, you didn't. Because I was like, I knew everybody. And and then she's like, well, I graduated 02. I was like, oh, I graduated 03. And then it was just like, what? And then as we started talking and got to know each other, it was just this weird parallel universe of like, well, I know this person. I was like, oh, cool. Like, that was my best friend in high school and like, blah, blah, all these things. And it was like, well, I took my daughter to this concert. I was like, oh, I was there because we lived 4 minutes away from each other for years. So we went to the same Costco. We went to the same Target, the same McDonald's, the same Jack in the Box, the same movie theater, same grocery stores.
But you always miss each other, though.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like the person he gets his hair cut from, because I love his hair so much, and I was like, man, you look so good. Who cut your hair? And he's like, oh, this guy. And I'm like, I think that's my best friend's brother. And he's like, oh yeah, he's got two sisters or whatever. And sure enough, like, the person who cuts his hair is my best friend's brother, and it was crazy on our wedding day. Everybody was involved in our hair.
So in a way, so like low key, the wedding was like a high school reunion then.
We had a high school reunion table.
Yeah, so our table, I mean, yeah, like the wedding, when we did our wedding, we were planning it, we were like, we want to make it like us. We wanted to do like things about us and like. And so, and Clairissa's super creative with like just content and stuff. Like you two would get along really well just because content, right? Like she loves content, right? Everything we talk about is like, oh, well, I saw this content, I saw that content. So like when we were planning our wedding, she was on Pinterest, she was on Etsy, she was on TikTok, looking at all the stuff. And we took those ideas and she turned them into what was our wedding, right?
Dope.
So what we did was we were like, cool, like our like table numbers are so boring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. So she was like, what if we did places that were special to us in our relationship?
Okay.
So each table was a different place that was significant in our relationship, and then there was a story for each table.
So you could sit at the table and like read the story of like why that was important.
Oh, that's smooth.
And then you could walk around
each
table and see like the timeline of our relationship from like our first date and when we first met all the way to the wedding, and then like you could put it all together and read the story of Danny and Clairissa.
Holy shit, that's freaking cool.
But the high school was one of the tables.
Yeah,
and
so
then
Redmond High School was a table.
and then everyone that sat at that table went to that high school.
We specifically put them there.
Now, were they in order? Like, was it like kind of like okay, like so you instead of using numbers, I know you used like geographical places that meant to you guys, right? So let's say table number one was title boxing. Table number two was like like wherever like y'all like
Yeah,
maybe
so
like
it
got
was
some
in
coffee or
order.
whatever like after y'all met or whatever and got cool. You know what I mean? Like was it in like order?
Yeah. Yeah, it was in order of how we met and in the chronological things that happened in our lives. So, like our first vacation together,
Yeah.
and when Danny got sick, and then when he proposed to me, and then like the wedding, and so like all these like little our first date with Emma and stuff like that. Our very first date as axe
Yeah.
throwing. So like all these little funny stories. Like our very first date, we went axe throwing, and I ripped my shorts with my axe.
She straight up was like.
And so
I was like, oh, we're getting it today. We're getting it today.
They're like, okay, all right, it's going in the right direction.
It brought everybody like together so they could see.
There was a wrestling table, Casey. There was.
Oh,
so Washington Hall, where Defy runs, that was a table.
Oh, that's badass. That's
yeah. I love wrestling. I've like gotten into it. Not
so
as much.
So he brought you into our world pretty much. Yes. Or were you already a fan?
No, I
had nothing about it.
So yeah, I didn't grow up with too many. I didn't know anything about wrestling. I knew about WWE, right?
WWF. Back in the day.
I knew about Hulk Hogan. Not much about him. And that's and I didn't know amateur wrestling or not amateur, but like pro wrestling on like a different level exists. Like indie pro, I had no idea.
Oh man!
But now I love it all.
Now you're damn near like him where you're damn near ready to book matches and you're at the indie show where you're yelling out you're yelling out two this stuff and there chants and everything.
We go to wrestling and you know me and you too, like you watched it so many times, like the equations, right? Like you know when a hot tag's coming, and I'll sit there and I'll be like, this is about to happen. She's like, why do we even come to this at this point? What's the point of this?
Why, if you know how it's gonna end, why are you here?
Because I was like,
the best is when they can surprise Danny Dang. Oh my god, the look on his face, it's amazing. He's like,
you talking like when they actually like kind of like swerve him and like they do something he wasn't expecting?
Yeah.
Greatest feeling in the world.
Oh man, bro, I love it. I love it.
Because bro, you know how it is, man. Like you've been watching the product for so long, and like you said right now, like what's gonna happen. Like when it comes to the cadence, the timing, like what's gonna happen. Just the way how things feel. But when they get you, man,
they get you, and
can't just nothing top that.
1 out of 10 times they'll get you, and that one time you're just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they did this. So, like to segue into that, so like Defy just had their big show, and like our champion has been gone because he's Canadian, and so the borders were closed, all this stuff, and he won the championship right before the pandemic. And then like a few weeks later, a pandemic happened, so like over, and he hasn't been back since then. And so, like, every show since things started happening again, I was like, I think Randy's going to come back. I think Randy's going to come back. And, like, every show, doesn't come back. And I keep telling her, I was like, I want these Canadians to start coming back. And we went to this last show, and we're sitting there hanging out, and, like, one of her favorite wrestlers had this match, this big old battle royal, and he ended up winning it. And then 2 hooded guys run out, one on our side, one on the other side. And I looked down and the dude on my side wasn't wearing boots. And I was like, that's Judas. It's Judas. It's Judas. It's Judas. And I'm yelling, it's Judas. It's Judas. Takes the hood off. It's Judas, Canadian guy. And I was like, oh my goodness, yes. And then the other guy takes his hood off. It's Travis. He, another Canadian guy, music hits, completely different music. Everyone's like, well, I don't know what's going on. Guy walks out, mask on, pulls it off. It's Randy. And the place exploded.
Oh, nice.
And they all came back, and it was just like, they finally did it. It had been a year a
But
year,
I've never seen
a year since she started watching Defy that I've been
Yeah.
talking about it, and like it all came to fruition.
So wait, so when you knew it was Judas, did you know Rennie was gonna be next?
I had
Did you have
no
a feeling?
idea. I had no idea, but they literally brought all their Canadian guys back in one show,
Oh, that's what's up.
and it just like blew their load straight up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, that sounds dope as hell. Clairissa. So in a way, you kind of like hit the jackpot with this man too as well, because I know that you guys, you've gone to a multitude of wrestling shows and other events as well too, but especially with wrestling, and you know that he sells nothing less than ringside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, let me tell you, right? So you want to talk about opposite worlds. Kind of like what you were talking about a minute ago in terms of like, you being introduced to him and, seeing the Supreme and the Louis Vuitton and all this stuff and everything, right? So this is the price you pay when you're friends with me, right? When you're friends with me, I am notoriously and very unapologetically cheap. Very unapologetically cheap. You know what I mean?
We could be good friends.
What's that?
You and I would be good friends.
Thank you. Exactly. Absolutely. We all family here. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Danny has to balance us out with his bouginess. You know what I mean? I'm notoriously cheap. I wear shoes, and I literally wear gym shoes until they are like busted. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, hey, you know what? They're so functional. I'm still gonna rock with them, whatever like that. I don't care. I just don't have any shame, right? So this man, he came out here. He came out to Chicago to visit and hang out, whatever like that. We had a freaking epic weekend. You know what I mean? It was amazing. We went to wrestling and all this stuff and everything. We ate good. It was good stuff, right? We also went to a Bulls game. So Danny was like, hey, he's like, so what's the plan? I'm like, oh, bro. Oh, it's going to be lit. I'm going to get you to the airport on Thursday. We're going to come back to the crib. And then we're going to wake up Friday. And then this, that, and third. And we're going to hit the Bulls game. The Bulls are playing the Mavericks. He's like, all right, for sure, cool. I'm like, yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. So we at home, we getting ready, we getting all good, we getting all like dipped up and everything, cleaned up and everything like that. Boom, we heading to the United Center. You know what I'm saying? It didn't really hit me until we were getting close to the United Center that I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my boy High Maintenance. Oh, he about to hate me. We got into the stadium. Right? We got to the stadium. We, hit our ticket up and everything right there, right? So Danny so naturally, he's all courtside and 50-yard line and everything like that. He started going towards going straight towards towards the 100 section. I'm like, oh, no, fam. We got to go this way. The escalator over here. He like, escalator? We go to a suite? Oh, no. We got to go to our levels over here on the escalator. We went to the escalator, right, Clairissa? All right, we had the second level, the 200 level section. Danny started going towards the gate. Or the entrance. Oh, no, bro. We got to go one more escalator. The other escalator right here. Like, for what? Clairissa, we get to the 300 level section. Now, so they already got he already got it all in his face already, right? Like, oh, this is some bullshit, right? Oh, my friend, you have not seen anything yet. Watch me top this bullshit. So we go into our section, right? I know Dave was like, man, please let our seat be like right here. Oh no, my friend. You see these stairs? We gotta keep going up. Clairissa, I am not exaggerating with you. We were literally the last row. Our heads were damn near at the roof of the United States. He was tight.
That's a true story. That is a true story because he bought those tickets. I bought the NXT tickets, and we were like fourth row or something like that.
Oh
yeah. Because that was the whole point. Danny was coming out here so we could watch NXT because that was like when they just started doing like road shows.
Yeah.
Outside of Florida, so they just started doing road shows. And so Dan's like, they're coming to Chicago and come out there. I'm like, oh hell yeah, bro, we can do that shit and everything. So I'm like, okay, dude, Dan's coming out here. He bought tickets for NXT. That's what's up. Let me get these Bulls tickets so this way, like, I can, we can have another event to go to and everything. So of course, like Dave said, we in row 4 of NXT. Like the sweat was hitting us when Finn Balor was coming off the top rope. Man, we were so damn high. Danny was like, "Hey, are they even still playing? Like I can't see nothing." Are they still? Oh man, it was hilarious, man. But the look on that man's face, he's like, I will never go anywhere with this guy again.
Because the flip side to that story is when you came here.
Oh man,
came here, and I picked you up from the airport, and then we went to my cousin's house, and you had some things.
Woo! Got nice and lifted.
And then you had Hennessy VSOP for the first time.
Oh, dude.
And then we took a party bus to go see Drake. And
you
were on the floor for Drake, and you and I killed that bottle in like 40 minutes.
Oh my God. Clairissa. That day, just that day alone, was nuts. Like Dean said, we went to his cousin's house. Chris, my dude too, man. We went to Chris's house, and you obviously you know you've been to Chris's house before, right?
Oh yeah.
Now here's the thing though, we all grown folks here, so it's all good. And and I'm a smoker, not as much. I don't go as crazy as I used to, but I'm a smoker. Chris is a smoker, whatever. Danny's more. He's more of an adult than we are. Chris gave me this he gave me a dab for the first time. I never had that before. I'm just used to just blunts, and that's it. You know what I mean? Blunts and joints in the bong once in a while, but he gave me a dab. So he put like this tiny little bit on this thing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Tiny little bit. And I'm over here like, the hell that gonna do, bro? and he like, dude, trust me. I'm like, because at first I'm not gonna lie, and then I don't think I told you this. At first, because I'm ignorant to that, I thought he was being stingy. I'm like, okay, I'm like, all right, bro, you don't want to kill your stash. It's cool, you know what I mean? Just that's fine with that like that, right?
No, he's hooking you up,
dude. We hit that motherfucker at like 11 in the morning. I was not right until 2 p.m. the next day. I mean, like, seriously, I was floating the entire, like, that was like a high I never, man. And we on the party bus that night. We drinking Henny that night. We seeing Drake and Future. I'm like everything just felt like a cosmic warp zone I was in. Like, it was unbelievable. That was unreal, for real.
It was crazy, because then we came home and we stayed at my brother's, and then I took you to the airport like a few hours after that.
Yeah.
So he was drunk and high getting on the airport.
High. Dude, no, because we had to party at your brother's house that night. I was still messed up, because after I kind of calmed down from it, I'm with Anthony Dang now, and we all know how Anthony Dang get down. You know what I mean? For real. So it was just over with after that, though. But the entire weekend, I was high as a freaking kite, and it was glorious. Now, Clairissa, I need to ask you a question. It's a little off topic. All right, because one of the comments in here kind of inspired this. So this is when I was talking about when I came to visit Danny. Now, the first time you went to Danny's house, were you intimidated? Because I was intimidated. I walked into this house, into his mama's house. Everything is all white. Everything is white. Everything looks perfect. Everything is like very clean. I mean, like, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. And I was like, yo, I'm like, can I, like, are we allowed to breathe in here? Because it looks like a crystal ice palace in here, bro. Like, everything's perfect. So what were your first impressions when you went to his house for the first time?
Okay, so when I first went to his house, yes, everything was white, and I loved it. Because I love everything to be white. Everything in my house that I've purchased for myself wasn't like a hand-me-down or picked it up off the side of the road.
Right.
It's white. I have a white cat. I have white dishes. I have white pillows. Everything. I was like, this is amazing.
Oh, wait, so you had the same kind of taste then?
Yeah. I like it's not
Oh.
like old lady taste. It's like modern white,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everything's
yeah.
white. I love white. So I was like, oh, this is great. Now, not everything's perfect in my home, so like I live there and it looks like it. Whereas his mom's house, I'm like, does anybody live here? Is it
Right,
always a museum?
right. It,
I remember you could like eat something at the table and then you put your fork down and you would look up and you would look down and your dish was gone. And you're just like, where did it go? Like, it's just clean. Like, and you're like, what? Yeah, that woman cleans in ways that like I don't even think Martha Stewart knows how to clean.
man.
There's no way. But I love that everything was white, and then his mom loves me because I love white.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it's an easy when he moved in, it's like, oh, this looks like home because everything's white.
The the man got his mama a white Keurig.
Yeah.
A white Keurig. Like they don't even make that. Like he had
The
to
amount
call
of
them.
hoops we jumped through to buy white things for this woman. It's crazy. I'm like, oh, we have these
Man,
white chopsticks. We got to get them.
Clarissa, I asked when I was there. I was like, hey, can I have a glass of water? He said, oh, bro, we don't have water. We don't have milk. I was like, oh shit, y'all not. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're Asian. We don't drink milk.
Yeah.
We're all lactose intolerant.
But yeah, man, that lady, it's like a museum. And then all the little wrestling figurines.
Right, right, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love Mama Fam. I love her to no end for real. Like, she is just like the sweetest, most beautiful woman for real. And like, just being able to have like, a few conversations with her that I did that weekend, and everything was like beyond amazing. You know what I mean? So it's like, so after like talking to her, I'm like, it makes sense why this house is the way how it is, because this woman is like pure elegance, straight up, like pure elegance, pure class. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know what the hell happened, what went wrong with Danny, you know what I mean? But like it's
I got like 3 weeks of clothes on the bed that I like literally moved from the bed to the floor to sleep in, and then I wake up and I put it back on the bed.
right, right, yeah, yeah, for real. Like his whole routine, man, for real, like was on point. Oh, and you got a white PS4, right?
I got white PS5.
Well, all the PS5's white.
Not now. You can get those colored ones, but yeah, I literally bought PS4 on launch, and then they came out with the white Destiny one, and I bought that one, and then sold my other one.
You would too. He saw the all white joint, was like, oh, we gotta make this happen.
Black dishwasher.
Oh, my mom got a black dishwasher recently because her apartment complex made her because hers was broken, and she was like, cool, this will be the interim one until you order me a white one. And they did.
They're like, oh, we can't put a black appliance in this house. No way.
No, she said the interim one. See, this is only temporary.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh man. But man, but for real though, I am really, really happy about you two. Like I'm really excited about this and everything. Like just on some personal stuff, because I've known Dane for a minute, and we've had many, many personal conversations when it comes to like, our personal lives, our love lives, and all that good stuff and everything. So like seeing how, being able to witness how it culminated to you two becoming one for real is like, like for real, this is everything. Like it's everything. Like I want to see my brother go through for real and be this happy, and like I said, like kind of circling back what I was saying earlier about going through the pictures and going through going through the photos, in his Facebook. The one common denominator I've been seeing since you two have been together, his happiness, and like he's been consistently happy, like just consistently smiling, just always happy, just always looking like he's having a good time for real. And in addition, Clairissa, thank you so much for coming into his life, because he finally changed that goddamn picture of him and Alexa Bliss that he had as his profile picture for like 12 years. Dude, seriously, I'm like,
you had that for 12 years?
No.
But man, bro, you had that picture for a grip.
Wait, so I would see him at the gym, and I would see his phone, and I saw this blonde girl, and I'm like, oh, there's no way I have a chance. He's into some super hot. That must be his girlfriend. I didn't know who Alexis Bliss was because I didn't know anything about
You know
wrestling.
who wrestling, right, right.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, he just has this super hot girlfriend. I don't have a chance. Like for the longest time, I thought that's what I was up
See, man. See that picture detrimental. First of all, it was tired as hell. Second of all, you already know I'm not the biggest Alexa Bliss fan in the world, so like when I was here, I was like, oh, bro, whatever. And third, look, you almost lost C.
You almost lost me.
Oh my goodness.
For real.
I didn't know this was the roast Danny show.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we get on your ass, bro. We get on your ass for real.
All right.
I'm not playing with you, man. And yes, Teresa, we definitely did the whole Danny White House experience for real. We already did that. So go ahead and hit that rewind button. But for real, but I'm like really glad about this whole thing. And in addition to that, y'all, Clairissa is going to be a regular on the show as well too. So I'm really excited about having her to be a regular because real talk, like like when we go through like topics and all that good stuff and everything. It's two dudes. It's two guys who are giving their opinions and everything like that. And sometimes like it's important to have like a woman's take onto the matter because we can sit here like we can just we can just like do it up and everything like that. But they have like a woman's take might bring some perspective to like the issue that we're talking about. So y'all gonna see Clairissa a lot more on the show as we keep going. Um, Kind of switching gears a little bit. I'm looking at your shirt, bro, and dude, like, I'm still trying to like gather myself about the loss of Takeoff.
Yep.
Dude, like literally, I woke up this morning about about five something. Grab my phone because sadly it's the first thing I do. Grab my phone and I unlocked it, and then I see from TMZ that they tweeted out, and it said Takeoff Amigos was dead. I'm like this is way too heavy and way too surreal to be taken in right now at 5:45 in the morning. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like that that was a ton of bricks moment. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I woke up
yeah.
and I checked my phone first, and I got a text message from one of my homies, and he said, "You need to wake up. Takeoff is dead." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Hold on." So I looked it up, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" Like crazy. And then I just kept seeing it and looked into it, and I was just like, he got shot at a bowling alley. And I was like, who's getting shot up at bowling alleys and like all this stuff? And like Clairissa and I, we sit down and we start talking about it, and I was just like, he was just out with his friends, and he just like some things went down, and like it's crazy. And everyone's looking at the last thing that he posted was him standing outside of that bowling alley, and it was like, I almost thought it was like the same thing where whoever P&B Rock was like, oh, I'm at Waffle House, and then some crazy person came up trying to jack his chain and then shot him.
Right.
I thought it was on some of that kind of stuff, like he posted that he was there, so someone showed up, right? Like kind of Selena type stuff, right? Crazy fan shows up, oh, I don't like you, whatever. But it was like. And then I showed you that girl's eyewitness thing that was like they were just chilling, having a good time, and then somebody made fun of Quavo and he couldn't handle it, and then they just started shooting, and he got hit by like a crew member's bullet.
Right.
It wasn't, and not that it would have been any better if it was an opposing person, but like it's just like it's so crazy that it's happening so often. And you told me this morning, you said, why is being a rapper such a dangerous job? And it shouldn't have to be that way. Like these guys, and the Clairissa and I talked pretty in depth actually before we came on here, was about, like, why does it have to be that way? Like rappers have they have their lives, right? And you always hear like these guys are from the streets, and that's what they know, and that's where they're from. and they get successful, and you always hear people say, when you do it, get out of it. You think about people that are in prison and they go to jail for whatever X things that they've done, and they get out and they're like, I don't want to go back to that life, right? They have this new like outlook on life and stuff. And a lot of these guys, they come from the streets, they come from the hood where they had to scratch at the bottom and come out, and then they made it. And then it's like, go back there and like build the Boys and Girls Club, give
Mm-hmm.
back to the community. But a lot of these guys come back and they're just like, I'm still from the hood, I'm still this, I'm still that. And then they get all caught up in all of this. And then it's like that street life catches up with them again, right? Like,
Mm.
people make fun of Rick Ross. Oh, he was a CO officer. Cool. Like, that was his life before, and he's doing his thing. But a lot of it is like a persona, like,
Mm.
and all that stuff. And I was telling her about how, like, people go watch wrestling and they think it's real, and it's like, like the person is playing a character. And some of these rappers, they have they have their gimmick, this is who they are.
Right.
But at the end of the day, sometimes people take it too seriously and they're like, nah, like, this is what you really think. And I even brought up like Stan by Eminem, where Stan was like, oh, I slit my wrist just like you say it in the music, and da da da. But these guys are just expressing art in a different way, and like some people take it too seriously, and then it's like, why, like, does it need to get taken that far, you know
Right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. This. First and foremost, above everything. My heart, my heart, and everything goes out to just his family. Um. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he has any children or not. I'm not sure about that. If he has children, if he has a significant other, parents, family, close friends, acquaintances, business partners. Like my heart goes out to them. Because they're experiencing, especially the family, they're experiencing this loss, tremendously, and even Quavo as well too. Quavo and Offset as well too. Like all of them, everyone from from their camp as well too, from QA. They're we've all experienced loss. We know what loss is too well, especially like when it's something this tragic, that occurs. Um, and everything you say, I mean, everything you're saying is right, Danny. Like there's a lot. There's unfortunately a lot of times people cannot separate. They cannot separate art from real life. And when you're in the position like what the Migos are in, or you just being a public figure in general, you walk around naturally with a target on your back already. Like where you generate envy from people who are not walking in the shoes that you're walking in. Obviously, there are people who aren't envious of you, and are more happy and proud and happy to see you succeed and everything like that, and want nothing but the best. But with that also comes those who are the polar opposite. Uh, they'll be the ones who are smiling and they're laughing and they're chuckling and they're kikiing with you and all that good stuff and everything, and giving you pats in the back and giving you hugs. But they want to put that knife in the back of you so bad as well too. And this happens. This happens way too often than what we would like to have happen. The thing is though is that and Casey, he mentioned that, like, no one actually really did make fun of Quavo. He was actually trying to lead the conversation. The thing is though is that, like, it ended in a way it should not have ended. And so this makes me wonder a lot. Not only from the obvious when it comes to losing, you know violence being introduced into a confrontation. But my thing is like, when can we really truly do a deep dive exam when it comes to how people need to, like, handle themselves, how to really be able to control emotions, how to be able to go about conflict resolution in a much more productive way. Being in touch with, like, who you are emotionally, so this way you don't have to let things escalate, and get out of hand. Like, that's a conversation I feel that, like, that doesn't really get addressed too much, when it comes to, like, how we are when it comes to stabilizing our emotions in terms of, like, like how we handle things and how we go about things. It's way too easy. It's way too simple to fly off the cuff and just start snapping on somebody, or jumping into an argument with someone, wanting to be the loudest one of the two, wanting to be the one that I need to prove my point. So I gotta get louder. I gotta get more demonstrative. I gotta be more boisterous. I need to be more threatening. Damn there. So this way I'm proving my point. And it's like, why is it that that is our natural, so many people's natural default, and not, okay, let's simmer down, let's assess everything right now, or what's going on in terms of like where we are right now, because we are obviously are at odds, and let's try to work this out, so this way we can both walk away and be okay. Now I know it's not, that's not the cool, the cool tough guy thing to do, or whatever. That I know that doesn't look cool, but at the same time, I would much rather look corny doing that. I will be the cornball all day, talking about, hey, Danny, we're about to get into an argument right now. You're raising your voice, I'm raising my voice. Let's simmer it down. Let's take a deep breath, and let's talk about why we're at odds right now. Let's just talk before we raise our voices. I would much rather be that cornball dude doing that. If that means that Danny and I can go home, Danny can go. Danny can go home. I can go home, and we can rest happy, and then we can come back together tomorrow, the next day, and we can watch a WWE Network and bullshit all day. I'll take that any day. But sadly, that route is not our natural default. It's not a lot of people's natural default. It's the need, the want, the desire, and like the damn fortitude for having. I need to be the more demonstrative person, and I'm like, we need to really unlearn that path. That path needs to be done, because it does not get you anywhere at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's power in conflict resolution, but more in empathy towards the person you're dealing with. I think there's power in, like, there's two people at odds, and you're like, oh, this person's driving me nuts. They're making me mad. They're making me pissed off. And then you realize, like, well, why, right? Like, how, like, where are they coming from? Maybe something happened to them. Maybe they woke up on the wrong side of the bed, whatever it is. And, maybe I contributed to that or whatever. And then being that bigger person, and like being mentally and consciously aware to like, okay, I could pick up a gun and just end this, or I can be this bigger person. We can all go home, and I can know that I did the right thing. I did the right thing by having empathy for the situation, trying to either just conflict resolution and talk to the guy, or just be like, hey, I'm going to table this. I'll catch you tomorrow. Like, bye. And just walk away. And like, that could solve so many of these problems, and we could have so many less shootings, less conversations about these amazing artists that are gone. And we can be in really good, those, when you're a celebrity, you do have a target on your back for both envy, but also people look up to you. And you could be like that guy that, hey, what if this story was different? What if this was, hey, they got into this argument, but he walked away, and then they put out an album next year, and we all got that instead of this conversation. And I think that would be a really cool, transition. And
Right.
I think we could, yeah, like, we just need empathy for the other person and what they've been through in the day and how they're feeling. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of it is like our comment there, it is a lack of empathy, right? And people and I'm guilty of it, is being like, I'm gonna take care of myself. I think that's I think most people's gut instinct is, I'm gonna take care of myself first. So people get into these situations, and it's like, oh, hey, like, I'm getting into this situation, I'm gonna take care of myself first, I don't care about the other person, right? And then things escalate, essentially. But to Clarissa's point, if in that moment you're like, hey, in your point too, Maurice, hey, we're in this argument, why don't we sit down and figure it out, and, like, talk it out, hug it out, whatever, but like, take a different route and think of one thing Clarissa has taught me a lot is think of the bigger picture. Don't think of the thing that's in front of you right away,
Mm-hmm.
right? So most people in the heat of the moment, they just think about what is there, right? What are you doing in that moment? But nobody thought about, okay, cool. I'm going to take this gun out. I'm going to shoot someone. Now I've ended a life, and now I've affected more people than just the one person
And yourself.
and yourself, because now there's someone out there that is a murderer,
To live with that,
right?
knowing that.
You got to live with knowing that, and you and then like you said, maybe he has kids, maybe he doesn't have kids, but he's got a family. You know, he's a son to someone, he's a brother to someone,
Right.
and now it's like that one, you know, that one stupid act has now affected more than just the two people that were involved in whatever altercation was happening, right? And so I think if in the heat of the moment, again, I think I saw a comment earlier that I was like, that's just what is ingrained in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You think of like hockey, you're playing, your two people are jawing at each other, the refs go fight, go take it out, go do your thing, right? Instead of trying to break it up and like, hey, let's, you know, but it's like it's just something that we naturally go to is, you know, trying to assert a dominance to say, well, no, I'm better, I've won the situation,
Right.
now we can move on, instead of saying, hey, here's my side, here's your side, why don't we come to some sort of agreement,
Mm-hmm.
and then we move on, right? And then nobody's, you know, nobody's hurt physically, right? But you at least have your life, you at least have, there's not, you know, a physical wound on you or something like that, and you can like move forward, and you could sit down, and then you could teach that forward, right? We look at like just all the problems that we have in the world these days, poverty, racism, and all that stuff, and a lot of it I feel like is learned, and like it just passed on and passed on. And you know, we talked to our, you know, talked to my stepdaughter about it, and it's like, you know, she's like, well, when will all of this stop? And we're like, it's, you know, that kind of stuff is learned. Like racism in the South is learned because it's passed on and on and on and on. And until that is changed, it's still going to happen, you know?
Right.
And so I feel like with a lot of the, you know, the violence that's going on, and it's in hip hop, right? Like, and it's a glorified culture that's in there. You know, you don't see people from 98 Degrees going out and trying to shoot someone from Backstreet Boys,
Right.
you know.
And you know that's another thing too, is that, like, you know, this, because what this was not hip hop. This is not our culture at all. You know, our culture is based and leads with love. That's what hip hop leads with love. Hip hop is about community. Hip hop is about, you know, nurturing the next so this way we can continue to grow. This right here has nothing to do with what hip hop is. But the thing is, though, is that it feels like it's infiltration into hip hop when it comes to these outsiders who are coming into the culture that we have created, and that we love so much, and we have these infiltrators coming in and doing all this erratic bullshit, because this wasn't what this culture was even founded on. It wasn't founded on violence. It wasn't founded on on like this level of altercation. It wasn't founded on like, no, let's make create a deadly outcome. It wasn't founded on that. It really was founded on community and a love, nurturing, and really being able to, like, you know, really be able to build something bigger together as one. And I was talking to John Robinson earlier today, and I was telling him, I was like, you know, this is not even come close to reflecting on what this culture is all about. But the thing is, what's sad though is that because these acts are so prevalent, that's what's equating now to hip hop. It's equating to violence, and it's like, that's not what this is. This is an infiltration. It feels like, and I feel that, like, you know, this. I really hope that this is going to be the opportunity where people say enough is enough. You know, where we really are saying, like, enough is enough, and now accountability needs to be taken into account. This way, we can now, you know, we can get away from this stuff. Now the thing is, though, is that Casey, he raised a few good points and everything, talking about, this doesn't happen at a dice game. You can't hug it out. You can't, you can't do conflict resolution, in these situations. And also, he brought up about emotional trauma, and that's all true. But the thing is, though, is that we can't just allow that just to be the way how things are, though. I feel like it's our responsibility, right? It's our responsibility, since we are in these positions right now where we can educate ourselves and each other as well about, what, it's, yes, we are all dealing with emotional trauma, that generational trauma that has been passed down to us for so many years, for many, many, many years. But now is our chance, now is our opportunity to be able to break these cycles, because we can, because it's okay, because now we are the ones who are making those rules and making those allowances, that we can actually create a change. A change is okay. For so long, I know, like, within the black family, therapy was, I grew up knowing that you don't talk to a therapist. You don't talk to a therapist. You don't go to therapy. None of that stuff. You have a problem, you work it out. But now we're in the era where therapy is championed, where that really is a direction to go into and to consider, because when it comes to us being able to stabilize and be able to really preserve our mental health and our emotional needs as well too, we learned that these types of outlets really are necessary, because if we want to see our kids be better, if we want to see our nephews and our nieces be better, if we want to see, in your case, in y'all's case, your daughter and your stepdaughter to be better, that change starts with number one. That change starts with number one, being able to really be able to, really reconstruct yourself, pass that on to the next one as well too, as they will do the same thing. I'm not religious by no means, but one of the few books in the Bible which I really do believe in, it says, train up a child in the way he should go, from when he is old, and he will not depart from it. And I believe in that full and through. So if we are in the position where we can, tell our kids, it's okay to be in touch with your emotions. It's okay to be able to, go into a direction of conflict resolution, in terms of, doing things in a much more constructive way. It's okay to find other means, alternate ways of being able to handle conflict without violence. If we're able to teach that to the youth, and to who's coming after us, then that will become the norm, and then that will start the process of being able to really curb away from what has been done to us in the past. And then we can get to a point where, if we are having an argument outside of a bowling alley, a dice game, a party, whatever it is, when we're having an argument, it doesn't have to go in that direction, because that's all we know. No, there are other ways of doing things. So that's what I'm saying. Right? All of that is real, in terms of, generational trauma, and, all the things now and all that stuff and everything, and what just won't happen right now. But just because it doesn't happen right now, just because, you can't, solve things you can't solve those kind of things right now, in those kind of situations right now, it doesn't mean that has to be the same way 70 years from now. When we're long and gone, and our kids are much older, and they have kids and everything like that, it doesn't mean that has to be the way for them as well too. So we can start right now to be able to curve that, because let me tell you something. If that really was exercise, in terms of, being able to, not being able to have, the more responsible emotional handle on ourselves, then maybe Takeoff would still be here. You know what I mean? A gun wouldn't have been involved, or whatever may have you. You know what I mean? P&B Rock probably would still be here as well too, because that whole situation was super ugly. But I'm just saying though, it really does start with being able to, look at ourselves, and know that, okay, there's a much bigger picture that we need to acknowledge, that's in front of us, and that picture is attainable when it comes to being able to be responsible in how we handle ourselves in these type of conflict situations. So, I as someone who is embeddedly in love with hip hop and with what this culture stands for, I want to see that happen. I'm not for the street shit. I ain't grow up, I ain't grow up that way. You know what I mean? I ain't grow up that way. I'm from Schaumburg, Illinois. And it don't get no more suburb than that. You know what I mean?
In there,
So
they
I
got a Starbucks.
what's that?
They got a Starbucks.
They got a lot of Starbucks. They got a lot. You know what I mean? It don't get no more suburb than that. You know what I mean? But the thing is, though, is that what we can't be taken away from me is that I love this culture to no end, and I know what's right and what's wrong, and what happened with Takeoff early this morning was inherently wrong. It should never have happened at all.
I agree. I think when it comes to therapy, and you have a lot of like, cultures and people who kind of put it down or whatever. I like to associate it with, you know, people go see a personal trainer because they want to learn how to work out. They want to learn how to get stronger. They don't know how to because they've never been, kind of to a gym or whatever. So they're like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna go like learn from this personal trainer. So just like we maybe haven't been taught the tools for our own mental health, there's no shame in going to see a therapist. It's the same thing as going to see an expert in the field. You take your car to a mechanic because maybe you don't know how to fix your car. Why wouldn't you take your brain to a therapist and learn some tools that you can use, going forward? So I think it's, just it's as simple as that. It's as simple as just getting some different tools in with an expert, and it'd be so amazing to see people look at it that way instead of the stigma that it has. There's nothing wrong with needing a little help because you weren't raised in how to do whatever it is that you're trying to figure out. People take cooking classes. People could go to therapy. It's the same thing. You just got to learn some tools.
Yeah, yeah, without question, and I know the thing is, I know it's not an overnight solution. I know this is going to be something that will take time. This is going to take a lot of time to be able to, really be able to curb this problem. But like I said earlier, I really hope that this loss. I mean, I hate that it had to take this long, and so many and so many damn bodies. But I really hope that this loss really is the enough is enough mentality. We can have great music. We can have we can have a great way of living. We can have really cool fashion. We can have really cool ways of of being able to show style and all that good stuff and everything. We can have all that, but we don't need the bullshit. We don't need it. And that's why I'm a firm believer that this culture that I love through and through, that is known as hip hop, is freaking infiltrated. And I'm not standing up for any of that anymore, straight up, because like seriously, enough has to be enough. And it really does start with ourselves. It really does. So I like I mean I'm floored, man, for real. Like, you know, Jesus Christ, man, like freaking Bad and Bougie was like, that was like our anthem for a
It
grit,
was.
bro, for real, man.
It was
You know what I
bad and
mean?
bougie.
That
Yes,
that was our anthem for a grit, man. And I know you, because how many times have you seen Migos live?
I've seen them. I've seen them twice. Well, it would have been three times, but they didn't show up when Drake came here last. Which actually popped up on my memories today on Facebook. It was 4 years ago. It was. Remember Aubrey and the Migos? They did that tour,
Oh
and
yeah.
they came here, and that that night I think was when Offset released his solo album, and so they ended up going to LA instead and having a release party and not coming here. But I've
Oh,
seen
okay.
them. I've seen them when Offset was in jail, so it was only two of them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I saw them when Snoop did his wellness retreat, and he was Snoop and Migos on tour together. But
Oh
like,
hell yeah, man.
yeah, it was just it's so crazy that like we can't just like it's like the old sayings like we can't have nice things, like it's just people have to be so selfish and like not think about just the consequence of actions, and they just
Yeah.
go and do and then like live with them later.
It and I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but you remind me of something like when you're saying what you're saying right now. Like what really kind of like trips me out too as well is like, and someone mentioned earlier about being desensitized. Like there's a there's a scene in the Godfather where Michael he shoots the cop in the restaurant. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He shoots the cop in the restaurant, and I remember I remember watching that. I remember watching that for the very first time, and I remember like seeing how the build up of that was. Where Michael like was like like he knew it was coming. He knew he had to do it. He knew what was going to go down and everything like that. So and you also can maybe see, and maybe this is a testament of how great of an actor Al Pacino is. But you also saw like maybe there was like, a little bit of doubt. Maybe I don't do it, but no, I had to do it. And then it builds up to the point where he gets up and he goes boom, and he shoots him right in the head, drops the gun, and he gets out. And I remember like thinking like, wow, like now you really are like you really have to like that character now that Michael Corleone has to live the rest of his life knowing like I just killed this man. I took his life, and I don't know why, but I remember that stuck with me. But the thing is though is that like at that time it's like killing it was so like, how can I put this? It was so like, oh my god, like he killed that man. But now it's like it's as common as slapping a mosquito on your hand, on your arm. That's the way how people like are treating it, and it's like you really are that detached from life itself, where you just have no regard for human existence, where you feel like I can, I'm just gonna take your life. You know what I mean? Like we came up, bro. You and I, me, and Clairissa, we came up in the era where if we really had a problem with somebody, we really, really had a problem with somebody. What do? We used this, and we went outside. We went outside. We went to the blacktop. We went to the parking lot. We went to the playground. We went to wherever. But we used this to sell whatever difference it was. You fought. You threw hands, you got your ass kicked, you either won or whatever like that, but you left. And it was done. It literally was done. After a fight, there was nothing else. Like, when two people got into a fight, that was it. There was no reason whatsoever for these two to even cross paths. And it was like a known thing, for a known unspoken rule between us all. Now it is at a point where it is, I'll just kill you. I'll just end it all for you. And like what you all were saying earlier, now so many people are now involved with this. So many people are affected by what that choice was. You know what I mean? And it's like, how is it that we got to that point? You know what I mean? How is it that we got to that point where death is as prevalent as a damn sneeze? It seems like. Where death is as prevalent as it is. It's just almost damn near expected. Where it's almost damn near it's natural. Oh well, kill him. That's fine. No, it baffles me how it's like how we are at that point. It's like it's also the recording of dead bodies. I refuse to watch the video of them as well. So I was like, I'm not gonna let that enter my spirit at all whatsoever. I'm not gonna even watch that. But even just that part as well too, where people just when they see an issue happening, I gotta grab my phone. I gotta capture this. I gotta make sure I record this. I gotta make sure I record this and send it to TMZ, and maybe I get a check from it, or whatever like that. It's like,
yeah, where's your human nature? Like, where is that? And like, what if that were your loved one that was being shot? Wouldn't you want people to put their phones down, or pick up their phone and call 911, but then like jump in and help at the scene instead of like taking a video? I saw a video of a guy breaking into somebody's car in San Francisco a few months ago, and I was like, why are you videoing this? Why aren't you stopping this person from committing a crime? Like, why are we just pulling out our phones instead of like doing the right thing and having empathy for the situation and having empathy. And I always put it back like, what if this was my mom? What if this was my
Mm.
daughter? What if this were Danny? I wouldn't want these things to happen to my loved ones. I'm gonna like help the situation.
And that's a great point you brought up there, Clarissa, because it's like people it's people are in this really weird gray area. You know, I feel like people are in this really weird gray area where a part of them is kind of terrified to stop someone that's doing something that they're kind of terrified when they're seeing an act happen in the moment. Like they're like just kind of like comment well what you're saying right now, compliment what you're saying right now. I saw a video a few weeks ago where literally this man.
Oh, it froze.
Maurice is gone. He'll be back shortly.
Well, look at that. Are we still here? Everyone can see and hear us still.
Yeah, I think we're still here. Yeah.
Chrissy says, I want to help, but I don't want to die. I don't want to die either, which is a great, if you're going to pick up your phone and film somebody, why don't you pick up your phone and call 911 or maybe take a picture of the suspect, I guess, and try and help, solve a problem in the future and make things, right. But we just sit there and let people do whatever they want, and then we just take video of it to sell to TMZ, and that's not any
No,
better.
it's not. I saw a video yesterday actually of a kid getting attacked in school, and it's like a really big problem in New York right now where these Asian kids are getting attacked in school because they're refugees, and the other kid that was attacking him had a knife and no one did anything. Like everyone just sat there and was like filming. There wasn't a teacher around. And then teachers were like walking past them and they were like, oh, why isn't anyone doing anything? And it was like, why don't you do something? Like, why, you know what I mean? And it was just like, and then finally a teacher walked in and took the knife from the kid and was like, and we're going back to your point, Maurice. Welcome back. Of why don't you do something about it, like and not get into the situation, but instead of taking your phone out to video it, to post it on Instagram or Twitter, but to call the police or to take a picture of a license plate or something that can be used for the better, and just use what you have to help the situation rather than, because we see all the videos of everyone, right? Something's happened to someone, it gets recorded. There's 800 different angles of it, but no one had the peace of mind to be like, I'm just going to call the police, or, I'm just going to, take a picture of this car that's driven away. I have an iPhone 14 that has like 1 million megapixel camera on it. Like you can get a video now, you can get a good picture of something. Right, that's going to help in the future. That's going to help, maybe find someone who murdered someone or find someone who ran over someone with a car. But no, everyone's just like, oh, I'm just going to video this.
And then I'm just going to post it to whatever social media. And it's like, it's not, people aren't taking videos to help. They're taking videos to get views and to get follows. And it's like, look at this, maybe they're the next viral video. And like, I wish people were using, film to like, catch the bad guy, whoever it may be.
Yeah, right, and exactly, and like because you're right. There are people who are like, oh, they see something crazy that's happening maybe on the subway or something like that. And they're like, I gotta get this because this is crazy, and I'll get a ton of views and whatnot and everything. But like that's what I'm saying. I feel that like the concept of being able to us being able to have the power to capture whatever is happening at that moment, through our phones. It's created like kind of this really weird, like gray area, like I was saying before, where like yes, like we want to capture this, but at the same time, I don't want to get involved because that might be a little bit dangerous. Like I was saying, like there was a video that was going around up here in Chicago where literally someone passing by was capturing these three kids who were stealing a catalytic converter from a car, and and the guy who was videotaping was like, well, what the hell are you guys doing? And they were like, man, shut the fuck up and everything, like, they're just like, saying, get the hell away from us. So it kind of like puts it in this weird position where, yeah, like what we're doing, is like it is visual, it is visual in terms of like it is helping because it can be a resource to like capture capture these people and either turn to the police, or if we're in a position where we are being terrorized by by cops, like we're capturing that as well too with our phones. To this way, we can hold them accountable for them doing like doing wrong to citizens as well too. So there is a right way of being able to work in that position, and there's a wrong way as well too where you're like, you know what, I'm just trying to get some likes. I'm trying to get some likes. I'm trying to go viral, and I think this will be it. You know what I mean? Like because your intentions really are not for helping a situation get better. It really is about you putting yourself in a better position because you want some likes and you want that euphoric feeling of seeing the thumbs up basically. You know what I mean? So I'm for it. I am for it in terms of like being able to capture like what's happening. But it's like, but if you are in a position where you can help this individual, this victim out, this person out, please by all means, move forward with like trying to help them out the best way you can. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, what, I don't want to jump into the situation and possibly put myself in danger. But let me capture this and let me take it like take it where it needs to be taken to. So this way there can be a resolve to this. You know what I mean? So this way, like, there can be a viable resolve. So I don't know, like, to be real, this is a culture where we're talking about like what we're talking about right now because like video capturing, which is it's relatively new to all of us. It really is relatively new. It's like what really are the rules of engagement when it comes to being in that kind of situation and being able to capture that. Because back in the day when there were no camera phones and nothing like that, when we saw some foul shit, you either ran, told somebody, or you just ran up on them and said, hey, what the hell you doing? You know what I mean? Like, the hell going on? You know what I mean? Like, you either did that. You know what I mean? So like, this is a whole new dynamic that is that's across all of us.
Right, and then World Star came out, and then it was like the joke, right? Like you see something go down, you'd be like, "Oh, World Star!"
Right.
Right, and I think some of it stems from that. It's just like, oh, like World Star would like post those things out, and then like great. And so maybe sometimes people think that now with TMZ and all that stuff, and social media and all that, and it's like, oh well, this is the quick hit, this is the quick like for me, and don't forget to credit me as the filmer because I need those likes and I need that.
Well, that, and if you sell a video to a news agency for what, I mean, they can go for hundreds of dollars a pop, just instant. Best well lit video, quickest sold to there's, I forget what show it was I was watching, but there was a show about how these camera people just go out and try and film incidents.
But you ever see a movie Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
What? Why do people sleep on that movie? Why everyone sleeps on that movie? Like I've asked so many people, have you seen Nightcrawler? And they're like, no. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Because you said who the actor is.
Jake Gyllenhaal? Y'all don't like him?
That's a hard pass for me.
What's wrong with Jake Gyllenhaal?
I don't know. He's not a good actor.
Fam, what are you watching? Wait, hold on. We're gonna take a break for a second. Name me a movie that. What have you seen with Jake Gyllenhaal that he was not good in?
Probably all of them.
I don't think I know a Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
You've seen Spider-Man?
Trash.
He was trashing that?
I don't like Spider-Man movies, so that's bias. I think Spider-Man's the worst Marvel character besides Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Personally, I mean, I don't know too much about the Marvel universe. Like, I mess with Spider-Man heavy. But I don't know much about Black Widow and Ant-Man and all that good stuff and everything like that. You know what I mean? No. She over here thinking about, she over here talking about Tobey Maguire. No. Jake Gyllenhaal was in the newer Spider-Man movie with that new kid. What's that new kid's name who's playing Spider-Man? Tom Holland.
McGuire one. I'm with Chrissy on this.
No, the other guy that I don't like.
Who?
The one that's dating Zendaya. That dude.
Is that?
Tom Holland.
Wait, Tom Holland's dating Zendaya?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, I think they're like together.
Word?
Yeah, we just got a hint from our 16-year-old daughter who just got home.
Oh no shit. Okay.
She also has very not nice things to say about Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wait. Okay. You know what? Y'all need to watch Nightcrawler.
Okay. Next date night.
Hold on. Oh, my remote. Now my remote doesn't work. I want to see a Nightcrawler. Somebody in the chat, check to see if Nightcrawler is playing on Netflix or Hulu or Tubi, whatever. You know what I mean? But no, for real. You watch Nightcrawler, you be like that boy can act. That motherfucker can act.
We'll see.
But seriously, what other show was Jake Gyllenhaal in? Other than Spider-Man.
Because you can't even name one.
Oh, I get. Oh, you want to go there? Oh, we can go there with Donnie Darko.
What?
Donnie Darko.
Didn't see that. Oh, it's an we have HBO Max.
What?
See, there it is. Right. So you guys need to watch. Y'all need to watch it this weekend. Donnie Darko. Have you seen what was that one movie? Enemy.
No. These were in like the 99-cent Blockbuster video section.
I saw Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain.
It was good. I liked it. I liked it. It was a long time, 16 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, right. You liked it, so that boy can act his ass off. But I'm just saying though.
Act like in ways that was some serious acting.
Well, maybe he wasn't acting. Maybe he was just being himself.
Maybe he was acting.
You never know.
You a fool. But for real, watch Nightcrawler though. Going back to what you're saying, Clairissa, about that whole culture of where you are damn near like an ambulance chaser, where you're out at night and you're looking for you're looking for like crime, you're looking for like a bad car accident or a fire or whatever like that, and they're filming it and they're selling it to the news stations this way they can play it in the morning and everything like that. So I mean, there's people who literally make a living, doing that all the time.
Yeah, it's like what if those people use their time to become a firefighter and help the situation, right?
Right.
That would be a better use of our time.
Prince of Persia.
Now, I never seen it.
I don't know.
But that was a hit. Last time I checked.
To who? Walmart's dollar bin.
Oh!
Wait, I love The After Tomorrow.
There it is. I know you've seen that.
Oh, Day After Tomorrow is my favorite movie.
You say Twister's your favorite movie.
Day After Tomorrow is my second favorite movie.
I know you've seen Day After Tomorrow, bro.
I've never seen it.
What?
Dude!
You live with me.
Right! Clairissa, you need to handle that.
No, she don't even watch movies like that.
No, I watch disaster movies.
She loves disaster movies like Twister.
Oh, I saw Jarhead too. Oh, he was good in Jarhead.
Oh, I remember Jarhead was dope.
Yeah, Jarhead was good.
Wasn't that like a war movie?
Yeah, I love war movies and disaster movies.
No, I'm good.
Best war movie. What's your favorite war movie?
Oh God, you put me on the spot. What's
easy? Dunkirk.
No, I like what was the one about Osama bin Laden when they got into his house.
Oh,
American Sniper.
The one that was based off the book?
Yeah.
No Easy Day?
What was it?
I don't remember the name. The one where they dropped the people in at night.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember the name of the movie. The book was called No Easy Day. That was the name of the book. But I remember the movie had a different title.
Glory. Glory was dope.
Glory?
Yeah, you never saw Glory?
No.
It was in high school history class.
Bro.
You think I did listen in high school?
Sorry, you were too busy tech decking.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Glorious fire. Hold on, Casey. We are not going to have any slander against Pluto TV. Y'all, do you mess with Pluto TV?
No.
Oh yeah, I have.
Bro.
You know why? Because we're affordable.
Bro, Pluto TV is like the greatest. This is the greatest thing that ever happened to television. Like seriously.
What is this dollar? What is this bootleg streaming service that you got? Some dude's filming Comcast, like streaming it on Twitch and calling it Pluto.
No.
Somebody out there help me out. Pluto TV is amazing because they have channels. No, Casey, don't hate, bro. Pluto is amazing, bro. For real. They have channels that are dedicated to like one thing the entire day. Like me, I am a super nerd, right? I am super nerdy. They have a channel that's dedicated to Mystery Science Theater 3000 all goddamn day, all night. It's beautiful.
Danny. And they have like a Deadliest Catch channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Danny.
Terrible.
They have an entire channel dedicated to Impact Wrestling. Impact is on all day.
All the time.
That's what Peacock's for.
Pluto's affordable.
We get Peacock for free.
Pluto is amazing, brother, for real. I'm telling you, Pluto is incredible.
I think Defy was on Pluto like once or twice.
Oh yeah, it didn't show. Like it didn't go well.
Yeah, they did. They streamed on Pluto once. They streamed a show on Pluto once, and it was like the trashiest thing ever. And so they stopped using it, and now they're on Fight TV.
That is true.
Okay, well hey, no, Fight TV is cool. Fight TV is cool if you got that, that's cool. I mean, wait, but it's all pay-per-view though, right?
It is pay-per-view.
But it was like $15.
Yeah, it's like $15.
It wasn't too bad.
It's like them old school TNA days where it was
bro, $15 to see Minoru Suzuki versus Tom Lawler. That shit was fire.
I'm with that. When's the next Defy event?
November 26th. It's called Fight Wave.
Okay, obviously you going right.
Yes.
Seats 5 and 6.
Seats 5 and 6. Section A.
Oh, you know what, bro? I got. Before we wrap up, I want to tell you. I finally had my first ringside experience. A few months back.
Where'd you go?
I went to Impact. It was an Impact pay-per-view, Emergence.
Okay, so it cost you like $7.
No, hey, it cost $60. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
$60.
That's a lot of money.
And I was ringside, like not fake ringside where I'm behind somebody. I was like the metal bar was right here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Jordan Grace was right there looking at me, blowing kissy faces at me. You know what I mean? That's how glorious that moment was.
You look like her husband.
What's that?
It's because you look like her husband.
Hey, with a lot more height. But that's a whole other thing. but for real though, I was like, this is what Danny feels like when every time he goes to wrestling. This feels right. So, man, I had that ringside experience. I can't go back now, bro. I can't go back to anywhere else.
Let me shed one more piece of advice for you when it comes to WWE. When WWE comes to Chicago next, you need to find a way to get in contact with like United Center or wherever they run their shows. Find the person that is in charge of the events there and tell them that you want to be a seat filler. So WWE does seat fillers, right? They very much don't hide the fact that they do seat fillers, but they don't advertise that they're doing seat fillers. So you got to know someone that knows somebody. Basically, I showed up as a seat filler. They gave me 2 tickets. My brother and I went. We showed up. They took us to a room and they said, this is what you're going to do. Basically, you get a seat, and when somebody comes to get you, you go sit in that seat that they tell you to go sit in. And then when the seat holder comes back, you go, if there's a seat next to them that's empty, you go sit next to it. And if not, you go back to your home-based seat. My home-based seat was on the floor, It was the last row looking at the stage.
Really? So you
So
had
right
that direct,
Yep.
like where you saw? Oh wow! You had that I call it the MSG the MSG
Yes.
view.
So right before SmackDown went live, the guy came over and said, "I need every seat filler to come with me now." And he took us to a suite, and I sat front row in a seat for 2 hours. My seat did not change. I sat front row in a seat for free.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's gotta be the move. Now
So I
you
will
do that with
never
WWE.
WWE.
I also want to do it for the Oscars. One, because I think it'd be cool, but two, I just want an excuse to get that dressed up. Like, I want my hair done, I want my nails done, I want the dress, I want it all.
And your date already got the Louboutin, so y'all already halfway home. You know what I mean?
Right?
I gotta
And
get
the
black
shoe.
ones though. For the Oscars, I gotta get black ones.
Oh man. Oh man, dude. Hey, yo, I can't tell you, man, how great this has been. Being able to reunite with you on this on this way, man. Like I miss the hell out of this. I miss the hell out of us being able to get on here, chop it up with everyone, and having the conversation with everybody the way that we did tonight, man. Um, Dude, credit goes to you, bro, for just reaching out last week and being like, hey, let's bring the band back together, man. And I'm like,
Right?
dude, this was needed in many ways, bro, for real.
So
So
Clairissa and I have been talking recently just about podcasts and stuff. She talked about how cool it would be like to do one and all that stuff. And I was just like thinking about it. And with all in light of all of Kanye's stuff, I was just like, man, I'm sure Maurice has a shitload to say about this. And I was just like, we should just do it again. We should just get it all together and let's just do it.
yeah, I have a lot to say about about Ye and that conversation. That's a conversation I feel we still need to have on here with audience participation. Um, I've been, because I'll be real, like, that's like, I feel like there's a lot of people who are not ready for that conversation. And I would like to have that with you on here. So how about this? How about we reserve that for next week? How about, no, for real, like, how about we come back next week? We come back, and then we go back to our every other week thing after
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that works.
You know what I mean? And then
Yep.
we can do that because there's a whole lot to unpack about Ye. There's a whole lot to unpack, and from both our standpoints, and I feel like why not? Let's have a healthy dialogue about that because I feel it's a lot deeper than just what's seen on the surface. I'm just saying.
Right. Just know that I've stopped wearing Yeezys.
Oh, you're one of the ones that I'm gonna burn my Yeezys.
Well, I'm not gonna burn. I'm waiting for the heat to die, and then I'm just gonna start wearing them again.
You goddamn right, Casey. But anyway, hey, Clairissa, I am so freaking happy to finally meet you. I can't wait to get either. I'm coming back out there because I really want to come back out to Seattle. Get out there, have be able to chop it up with y'all, be able to have dinner and everything like that. And I'm just really happy that you're a part of the show now. I'm really, really freaking happy about this. So, this is gonna be a lot more. We're gonna get a lot more into this and everything like that. You'll see more how like the show is. As we develop more. Today was more like kind of like a reintroduction back into the swing of things. And whatnot. And also like of course we had to talk about what we talked about when it came to Takeoff. Rest in peace, brother. But no, this is gonna be a great ride though. So get ready.
Yep.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Gonna be good.
This was fun.
It was good to get back on this. Thank you for everyone for participating. We'll see you next week.
Yes, absolutely. Just like what Dan was saying, we'll see y'all next week. We'll be back. We'll let y'all. We'll put it out there. More likely, probably next Tuesday and everything like that. But we'll put it out there. Thank you everyone for joining. We will be on this show. Will be on YouTube. Right after. It'll be on Spotify tomorrow morning as well too. Follow B-Side Studios, through Facebook, IG, and YouTube. Follow all of our platforms. MDX is gonna grow bigger and better. Thank you all for coming and being a part of today's conversation with the revival of MDX. Rest in peace to Takeoff. Everyone, please continue to be well, be safe, and always, 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 always lead with love. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care. Good night, everyone.
Peace.